Good morning, everybody. I'm Luke Sullivan with Transwest Truck Trailer RV up here in Fredrick, Colorado. We are about 30 minutes north of Denver, right off Interstate 25. You can't see all our inventory sitting right out here on the lot. We're just off the frontage road, so you can't miss us. Again, like I said, ton of inventory on the lot. The Cimarrons are rolling in out of the factory right now, so we've got a lot to choose from. Behind me today, we're starting to see some 26 models now too. So we've got a 2026 Cimarron Lonestar behind me, stock combo trailer, really well equipped. But really nice way on this trailer, especially to show off some of the standard features on the Cimarrons. We left off some of the creature comforts and the frills to save you a couple bucks if that's what you're looking for. Certainly, if this trailer, the floor plan and the layout fits everything in your needs, we can add things to it if you like some of those creature comforts that we did leave off from the factory. But we can add those for you at our shop here. We've got some text that'll make it look like it was a factory finish. So let's start first and foremost at the business end of things. You're not missing out anything at all with this B&W coupler. Their third generation of this. We get a lot more adjustment out of this now, so really helps us out with our taller truck beds and our taller hitch heights. And if we're hauling with haulers too, or something with a lower bed height, we can make sure that our trailers are riding level no matter what we're hooking up to. We've certainly all encountered some of our newer trucks with some older trailers that don't quite ride level, or they get a little too close to our tailgates in those tricky spots. So adjustable coupler, big heavy duty safety chains. Please use your safety chains, folks. Even goosenecks require it. It is required by law. And then again, talking safety, we've got a nice breakaway cable here as well. Cimarron does a nice job coiling this up, kind of keeps that mess and stuff from tangling in the beds of our trucks. And then really nice system to let it go and set it. You're good to go. 7-pin connector on our electrical. We do have it run in through a little battery box to simulate some lights for you, but 7-pin connection that we're all used to seeing going down the road these days. So small little things about the Cimarron. One of the standard things that you'll see too that we can kind of easily point out with a few less options on this trailer, but nice little storage spot for our 7-pin connector as well. Really nice how they do that. And then we'll talk about some ways that we outfit these trailers, even standard from the factory, to make life a little bit easier. But if you ever do want to add an electric jack to this trailer, or you want to add the battery box, you don't have to find an aluminum welder. We've put the brackets in the framework up here already. You'll see too our spare tire is mounted high. That's all to make life a lot easier for you going down the road if you ever do want to add those on. But as it sits, we are a manual crank jack. Really simple, spring-loaded foot down here as well. So watch your fingers when you let that guy go. It will bring that foot right up for you. But again, like I said, real easy on these trailers to add something if you want to. And then we'll talk about our full-size matching aluminum wheel and tire here. So Goodyear tires on these trailers, I think the name right there speaks for themselves. We're doing a full 1-year, no questions asked tire warranty too. Really nice coverage if you do have some kind of flat or blowout going down the road. Get yourself in a safe spot, get yourself taken care of, but take some pictures and we'll get you reimbursed. And nice to have the full-size matching spare if you do have a flat. Swap that out and you don't have that rusty old steel wheel that we're all used to seeing go down the road after we've had a flat for a while. So again, speaks for themselves. Doing that matching spare tire, and then the Goodyear name again, like I said, really well-known name, obviously. So working our way back into the combo part of this trailer. First and foremost, 24 feet on the floor, front to back. Our short wall in our tack room's just a little under 4 feet. I think we're like 3.5 feet. So we've got a lot of space in our horse area, our combo area, our stock area, whatever it is that you intend to use it for. But again, short wall of just under 4 feet inside this tack room. We've got a ton of space in here. So wanted to have you have a real nice look at how we equip these and open it all up. If you were at your show, untacking all your horses, this is where you're going to come straight away, throw your saddles on here, throw your blanket pads on here, and you've got easy access to that. I'm not a tall guy. Every single tack room I've ever stepped into, whether it's an English saddle or a Western saddle that I'm dragging into there, I've always tripped into stirrups. I've always got them hung up in the step, in the threshold, going in and out. So between that and stepping in and out, having that extra height and not having to worry about it, having these right at chest height and below my belly even, and the ability to adjust these wherever we want to put them. Even if we want to scoot this one down a little bit and cheat it as far down as we want, as we can do that, and then we can get these in a little bit more of a reasonable level for me, even at my vertically challenged height. So nice to be able to adjust these. Again, we keep these in stock in our parts department. If you think you can squeeze one more on there, if you need to squeeze one more on there, we can certainly try. And then again, we also sell a very similar pole to our blanket poles that's on the door behind me, but we'll sell a pole that'll fit inside this track as well. So really nice to be able to have that versatility with these saddle pads and these racks. So you can swing these in and out. Obviously, we've made these doors a lot wider now so that our longer saddles aren't brushing in and out of there. We're not rubbing them off the sharp edges and marring up all the leather and things like that. And then again, even when we have that swung out and we've got it full of saddles, I can still have a really nice, easy entry and exit out of here without having to move that. I've got plenty of space to make that move into there. Talk real quick about the door. We talked about it being a little oversized. That helps quite a bit too when we're adding some blanket poles to here. We're not worrying about catching those in the doors. We're slamming it shut and getting ready to close up for the day or head home for the weekend. And then nice brush box down here in the bottom. It's partitioned out a little bit so we can organize things a little bit. Certainly we're all going to throw some fly spray and hoof paint in there, and it's going to spill. It's got some drain holes in there as well. So when we need to clean it out, because it's not an if, it's a when, it's real easy to stick your hose in there if you want to, and you can hose it out and wash out whatever ended up in there that shouldn't have. So these trailers have a bit of a higher threshold getting in and out of them, especially when we're hooked up to our trucks. Level them out a little bit for our videos, obviously, but really nice to have this fold out step. So whenever your tack door is closed, this will fold up right over that tack room door, and then it's just on a gas truck. There's no hardware, there's no latching mechanism, there's nothing to get gummed up with all that road debris and dirt, especially that we see out here on the dirt roads in Colorado. That's not going to function in a couple months or one muddy day trip down the road. So nice to have that. That's what holds it open for us. That's what holds it closed as well. Again, like I said, no mechanism or anything like that to get hung up. So we'll work our way into the tack room. Rubber matted floor in here, real easy to pull these guys out. If we want to do any kind of cleaning, real easy to pull these out and sweep things out, get everything out, and then clean it out. And again, keep ourselves clean and organized. We're trying to make life very easy for that. So speaking of organization, nice boot box in here. Multi-purpose, really a blank slate to use what you want for it, whether you're going to store some bandages and wraps in there or a few power cords and hoses or the like. And again, too, really nice step to get up into our gooseneck area, fully carpeted, and a nice spot too to sit down, take a little break, and get yourself organized or ready for your next show or your next task, whatever you've got going on. So fully carpeted gooseneck drop wall, fully carpeted gooseneck, really nice space to spend some time if you want to throw a mattress or a bedroll up here for a weekend. Obviously, you've got the two opposing windows, so you can get a nice cross breeze going there, and they're screened as well, so you can keep yourself kind of bug-free if you keep this shut up and sealed off pretty well with the screen windows as well. So we'll talk about one of the standard features on every single Cimarron, from their stock boxes to their massive LQs, and one thing that would certainly help you if you were camping out in this guy over the weekend is their insulated roof. So we can talk a little bit more about it in the stock area, in the horse area, the load area, but first and foremost, it's one-piece construction, bit of a honeycomb design. We see an R3 insulation factor out of it, so we see a 10 to a 15 degree difference between our competition with an aluminum sheeted roof, even on our asphalt lot in the middle of August in the summer. So big difference in temperature. We also see a lot of structural strength to that as well. Holds up very well in hailstorms. Ask us how we know. We are in hail country out here, so we've seen some of the results that this can produce for us in that case. One other quick item that we've got over there on passenger side too, and we will talk about all of our slats and plexi that we have in this trailer and the ease of use of that, but obviously that's going to be our plexi storage. So we would certainly suggest springtime comes around, when you pull all your panels out, get some painter's tape, number them, do a top and bottom A through Z or however you want to do it to keep yourself a little bit more organized. It will make fitting them back in there the following fall a whole lot easier, but that's a great way to store them. They're going to stay nice and neat up there. They're not going to roll around. They're not going to move around in your trailer. And then again, they're out of the way. You don't have to find a spot in the barn for them or anything like that either. So working our way over here to driver's side. Again, we're in a pretty simple tack room, but they've done a lot of the nice small touches. We have a nice big shelf up here with a big lip in it, rubber matted as well, so we're going to keep things quiet that are riding around in there, and hopefully we're not going to lose them off the side as well. Like I said, we've got 2 or 3 inches there of depth in that as well, so really helps. A lot more storage there, whether you're putting some helmet boxes up there or you've got some hats and some other stuff that you want to organize and keep it up off the floor or out of the gooseneck. You have that option. And then again, just below that, nice clothes hanging rod here. So get all your show coats, get all your shirts, get everything out of the back of your truck. You got some family and friends coming with you. You've got a 4-door pickup. You want to use that for them, not for all your clothes and bags and stuff like that. So you can keep a little bit more organized just via that simple little rod that they've added there as well. So again, like I said, small stuff in the Cimarrons that make the big difference. Carpeted wall everywhere that we have bridle hooks. So 2 big reasons for that. Number one, first and foremost, we've all seen the used trailers running down the road with our half views of all of our metal headgear and bits and bridles and whatever else is rubbing against that wall as we drive down the road. And we've all seen that, and it's certainly unsightly, but we've all just kind of learned to live with it. And so this is a great way to really abate that, and makes a big difference on resale and the look of this trailer going down the road in the long run. Secondarily to that, we get a great sound deadener out of it too. So obviously our horses, our stock, whatever we got is right opposing this wall, right on the other side. So we want to make sure that they're riding as quietly as they can. Cimarron makes a big effort, and we'll talk about some of the partitions with the plastic on metal latches and the slam latches and things like that, and where they make a real effort to keep these trailers to ride quiet. So this is just one more spot that they do that. So, and then you'll see these bridle hooks, not only are they tall and deep, but they're really stout too. So we can get some hoses on here if you've got some extension cords. We've all opened up our tack room, bouncing down the road, and found those kinds of things on the floor, even after a gentle ride for 20 miles. It doesn't have to be a cross-country trip to bounce all our stuff, our tack, off of these walls. So these really tall hooks hold things in. We don't find all that stuff like we have in the past on the ground. Really nice to be able to keep organized like that and not find that heap on the floor. So back in our back corner, always been some wasted space. We'll flip this open so you can get a better look at it. Always been some wasted space back there, so High Country Plastics has done a really nice 28-gallon corner water tank in here. We've put it on that pedestal. First and foremost, you can throw a 5-gallon bucket under there. Real easy, fill it up. It's just a gravity feed. We've got a fill valve at the top there, or a cap at the top. And then again, like I said, gravity feed, and then we also include a little 10-foot hose there so that you can run it right outside the tack room door and fill up some buckets that way. Nice to bring some water from home, whether you're showing in the off season and some facilities have their water turned off or haven't turned it on for the year yet, or you're traveling down the road and you're spending many hours on a road trip or days even if you're going cross country, and to be able to bring some water with you and not have to find it at truck stops is a really nice option. So we'll swing this back in, kind of give you a look at things close back up again and make our way out. But these Cimarrons do an awesome job with the space in these tack rooms, especially these slant loads, utilizing a lot of that extra space, utilizing that swing out saddle rack to kind of tuck in there as well. So working our way back outside of the trailer, you will see Lonestar models are equipped with our standard as two plexi panels, top and bottom, both sides of the trailer. And the best part about these plexi, everybody that's run these stock combo style trailers with your plexi windows knows that there's some form of mechanism or bracketry or hardware that you've got to pull apart to slide all your panels out the back. Some of them did the front, and you know that it was always a bit of a cumbersome ordeal. You always rounded off a screw or a bolt or a nut or something like that. And so Cimarron's done a really awesome job with these. If you have some callous fingers, you can see the relief gap right here. You can very easily separate that out and pull all of your panels right from that relief. Just above is the same as well. And then you'll take a look at our rear swing door as well. It's all built out the same. So no more hardware you have to pull out anymore. Really, really handy feature with that. So Down along the side of the trailer, you will see we've got tie rings kind of spaced out evenly throughout the trailer. Again, if you want to add a couple more of these, if you intend to have a few more with you, we can certainly add a few more. And then you'll see driver's side as well. We've got the mirror image. We've got just the same. So 18-inch awning light above us, 16-inch awning light above us. Sorry, the 8 and the 16 got mixed together in my head. 16-inch awning light above us, OptiBrite, LEDs. Everywhere we've got LED OptiBrites in this trailer, whether it's inside the trailer, whether it's our load lights over this thing, we can really turn night into day with these lights and make tacking up, if it's an early morning, dark in the morning, or late at night, make it a real easy task, and we're not going to be fumbling around with our iPhone flashlight or something like that, trying to find a brush or a hoof pick to get things going. So get into our running gear for a second here. We are on Dexter torsion axles. These are 7K axles. So you've got a 14,000 pound GVWR with that combined weight rating. These are on 16-inch aluminum wheels and tires, as you can see. We talked about the Goodyear name. I think, again, like I said, that really speaks for itself. And then we are electric drum brakes on this trailer. So all 4 wheels and tires, both axles are equipped with both braking axles. And again, like we say, always make sure you have a functioning brake control. You gotta have a way to control the strength of these brakes and have that control in your tow vehicle and have that ability to adjust that trailer brake gain. So again, always make sure you have that ability to change that and that you understand the functionality of that system and when to raise the gain and when to change your settings. These trailers, their weight's ever changing. An empty trailer versus a loaded trailer could almost be double in weight. So nice to be able to have that ability to change it around. A few more tie hooks, like we said, around the back. Before we open the back door, talk about a few more standard Cimarron features that they're doing now. That's just really, again, it's kind of the small stuff. A lot of custom builds we did over the years, forever and ever, we would always add a separate fixture for a reverse light. It's always just a very underutilized aspect of the 7-pin connection. Standard now from 25 on, Cimarron is now doing standard integrated into all 4 tail lights. LEDs is that reverse light. So anytime you throw your tow vehicle into reverse, again, like I said, just part of your typical 7-pin connection, no changes there. Anytime you throw your tow vehicle into reverse, these LEDs will light up as they are now, and you'll get a lot of light back here. It makes a big, big difference. So one more thing we'll see, we talked about that relief for the plexi panels in the door, just the same as we've got down both sides of the trailer. A little bit of a smaller air gap on the top half of this, but we can move a lot of air through these stock trailers if we pull all of these plexi panels out. So open it up. We have just got one single door back here. The Cimarrons have a lot of different options with the doors. So if you're looking for something with a slider in it, if you're looking for a 50-50 split or something like that, those are always options we can explore with Cimarron, whether you're looking to build or something else that we have on the lot. But first and foremost, what you'll notice stepping into this trailer is we are a rubber matted floor trailer. Underneath our rubber matted floor, we see one of Cimarron's other standard features that we'll talk about for a minute is their aluminum floor. So first and foremost, it's kind of a tongue and groove type system that fits together, but it's 4-inch on center cross members with a V-truss setup. And so it's hard to compare to anybody else on the market. And the best way to explain it is that no matter how big or small your horse is, they are always standing on some aspect of a cross member. Instead, there's no more dead spaces of them just standing on the thin aluminum sheeting where there's a 12 or an 18 or a 16 on center cross member. Instead, we're every 4 inches. So if you've been shopping for a while, you may have seen Fergie floating through some videos last summer. She's a mini pony that floats around the dealership once in a while. Tiny feet. Even Fergie's standing on a cross member anytime she's on this type of floor. So makes a really big difference. A lot of our competitors, especially as we get to see some age on them, we start to see some wavy spots in the floor or some dips in the floor where our horses typically stand a lot. So this certainly eliminates that. Now, number one question we get from a lot of customers is, how do I maintain this floor? And our number one thing is absolutely urine is corrosive too, even aluminum. So maintenance is a big thing. Depending on usage, average usage, pull your mats once a year, pressure wash them out, get a good clean on them. Make sure you got nothing else sitting under these mats. There's no wet shavings, urine soaked shavings or anything like that. And then a great way to counteract a lot of that acidity. Dump out a whole box or 2 boxes on a trailer like this of baking soda, and that'll help a whole lot. Let things dry out, dump out your baking soda, sprinkle that in here, pull your dry mats back in. And again, like, it depends on usage, but good housekeeping, not leaving some wet shavings in here, really makes a big difference with these trailers as well. So stepping inside, you'll see we've got a big large compartment back here with a nice big center cut gate that we can pin open as well. So pinned onto the wall there, we can stow it in that position running down the road. If we want to use this whole rear section for a couple cattle, steer that we're moving around the farm, whatever we need to do, you have that ability. You kind of have some versatility with this trailer. And then again, we can do the same with this second partition as well. Single slot up front, and then we can stow this guy, same deal, spring-loaded latch on the front. We've got a little foot for both of these to support them. Makes a big difference so that these guys hanging down the road aren't sagging so much and pulling on these hinges. Kick walls here on passenger side, you'll see big kick mat, and you'll see our plastic slam latches as well. So we've got the big paddle latches, and they are designed to be slam latches, so everything can be one-handed operation. We all know walking in here, whether we've got cattle in here, whether we've got our horses in here that are dead broke, we're still one hand's on them, one hand's on a door. Really nice to be able to slam these. And then like we talked about, plastic here and metal latches that or metal partition that fits into there really cuts down on the noise that we've all used to hear in those metal trailers. We've even been in a different car, heard them going over train tracks or something like that, and hear all that metal clanging. So this really quiets down these trailers, makes for a really smooth ride and comfortable ride for whatever we've got in here. So up on our partition wall, on our hip wall, excuse me, we've got a couple big Opti-Brights there. So again, like I said, the Opti-Bright awning lights on the outside of these trailers can turn night into day. Inside this trailer, we can find the darkest corner in here in the middle of the night and flip these lights on and still read a book. So they put a ton of light out, really doesn't inhibit anything that we're doing late at night. And then kick mat extends all the way to our partition wall between our tack room and our stock area back here as well. And then driver's side, we'll talk quite a bit more about our escape door there on driver's side, but we do have a little bit more access into it if we need. So spring-loaded latch for our roof line there to hold us open. Slam latches as well. Really nice setup with these big partitions. Full height, so if you want to use that front guy for some storage and you have access into your storage from your escape door, you have that ability. And then if you're using this for stock, you've got your ability to separate yourself out in two pretty equal compartments for the most part was our goal building this guy out. So close the rear door back up. You will see rubber bumper there on the bottom. Even these stock combos like this, if it's something you want to add a ramp to. If you see another one on the lot for some reason that has a ramp, that's something we can also pull off anytime too and add back that rubber bumper just as you see here. And again, our techs in our shop are awesome. They will be factory parts, and you would think it was a factory finish. Came from the factory that way. So working our way over to driver's side, real similar to passenger side. We've got some tie rings over here. Again, if you want to add some more, we can certainly do that. We like to give some options, whether your parking allows for tying on driver or passenger. We've got another 16-inch awning light above that, and then we'll work our way into our escape doors. So nice access to check our stock if we're doing something like that. Always put a little chest bar here just as a little bit of a safety, and then we can drop that down very easily. But most certainly we are hearing a lot of feedback from customers that this is turning out to be a great added secondary storage area. With that full width, full height divider, we can obviously throw real easily a couple bags of shavings in there, some hay, and whatever else we would like some easy access to if we're wanting to pull out when we first get to a show to set up some stalls or something like that. Our tack room door will be keyed. These guys are just our typical old style paddle latches that if you want to add, this we run as a safety. Really nice way to run down the road, and sure, nothing's going to pop open on us. But if you want to run a couple padlocks on this in the back door, you can real easily lock these trailers up tight if you want to keep a couple show trunks or something like that inside of these as well. So Working our way to the front of this trailer, I think biggest thing we'll take away from this trailer is a lot of the standard features on the Cimarron. Straight out of the box, you're getting an insulated roof, you're getting the 4-inch on center aluminum floors, and then from there you can really just take it, the sky's the limit if you want to do add-ons, whether you'd like to add worm flooring, whether you'd like to add an electric over hydraulic jack service with some 12-volt battery service that'll enable you, without our fancy little box, to run your LEDs even when you're not hooked up to a truck. Those are things that we can certainly help you with here at Transwest. If you have any questions specifically about what we can do or add to trailers, we can ship trailers cross country, please feel free to reach out to me. My email's down below, luke.sullivan@transwest.com. My cell phone's 859-509-1282. If you have any questions, call me, text me. We can talk tow ratings, we can talk tow vehicles, we can talk kind of a good setup to find a good match for the two, and go from there. If you have questions about this trailer specifically, please feel free to reach out on our website and reference it. Stock number is 5N250162. Thanks for your time today, everybody. También hablo español.